Hey Stampers, Purple Lizard here. Today I have a really pretty set to show you. It's called To a Wild Rose. So this set is one of the sets that's made by one of the $1 million sales achievers, which is what the little gold mark there means. And this $1 million sales achiever is Mary Ellen Byler, Byler. It's a really pretty set. It's one that you can stamp in different steps. So you could stamp this in a light color and then this one on top of it in dark. You could add this stamp as an outline, or you could not use that one and just use the other two, or you could just use this stamp and that leaf. I really like it. It has some good sayings with it. It's a really pretty set. So for today we're going to be using these two stamps. And so what we have here is a piece of Whisper White that is 5 by 3 3/4. And I am using the 110, the thicker cardstock, because we're going to be using water. So we're going to emboss this with some gold embossing powder, and we'll need Versamark. And so when embossing, you need to use something like the Embossing Buddy, something to take all the static and the fingerprint oils out of your paper. Otherwise, stamping with Versamark and embossing powder is a really big headache. So we're going to ink up our stamp. We're going to use the rose. Going to ink it up real good. And when you're stamping with Versamark, you also don't want to smash it down. You want to get a good imprint. I'm going to put it about here. But you don't want to smash too hard. I'll show you why. So you can't see it, I'm sure, but it's there. I can barely see it, but it's there. We're going to take the leaves and we're going to stamp them there next to our imaginary rose. Let me look at it and see exactly where it is. There it is. Yep, it's there. I'm going to put a leaf there and a leaf there. And this is the silicone mat. We also have this in the catalog again. I like it. It helps. I don't want to get this sticky Versamark all over everything. So okay, it's there. You can't see it, but it's there. And so now I want to put up that Versamark because you don't want to get embossing powder in your Versamark, or Versamark in your embossing powder. And now we're going to add the gold embossing powder so we can see our imaginary rose. I really like Stampin' Up's embossing powder. It gets the fine detail of whatever you're doing. So I see some spots that are hopefully going to come off with a little tap. Not really. That's not done very good with the Embossing Buddy right there. So it doesn't really matter because I'm going to paint it right about there anyway. So next I was going to stamp also a word on here. Let me put this back up real quick. We're going to stamp a sentiment real quick before we put that up. Here it is. We're going to put hello on here. So we're going to stamp. The hello is in the stamp set right there. And stamp it right there. Boom. Okay. And bring this back too, because you want to reuse this stuff. This has lasted me a long time because I just reuse it. Just get the amount you need, and there you go. So then I would take this over to my heat gun, and it makes a lot of noise, and it's clear across over there. So boom. That's what would happen. It would turn real pretty gold and be permanent. So in this example here, you can see where I used too much Versamark. This hello has come out too thick. See how the O is closed up? Because I pushed too hard and I used too much Versamark. I also didn't use the Embossing Buddy real good, and I don't know if you can see it, but it has little gold specks all over it. And you can try and fix that stuff with a paintbrush, but it's like trying to herd chickens or something. It's impossible. So, to take the headache out of embossing, use the Embossing Buddy and use a light touch with the Versamark. Okay, so next step, now that we've let our embossing powder get heated up and dry and cool off, we're going to take an aqua painter, and we're going to take some of the new ink. This one is Rococo Rose. Very pretty. I like just saying it. Rococo Rose. So I pressed on it and got a little bit in the top. And take my aqua painter, and I'm gonna, since I'm using 110, this works. If you use the thinner paper, this really isn't gonna work for you because it's sitting on here long enough for me to do this. If you use the thinner paper, when you apply this, it's just gonna soak right in. It's not gonna blend around like it is for me right now. So I'm just gonna quickly blend that around. I'm not even trying to be accurate with it. This is just going to be quick. Then in the middle, I'd kind of like it to be a little darker. And since the water's there, it's going to kind of pull it out itself and suck it out into the fibers of the card. So that turned out good. And next, I do not have something to wipe this brush off, so I'll just wipe it on here. Next, I'm going to use shaded spruce for the leaves. And I'm going to do about the same thing. I'm going to get it nice and wet first. And it seems like that green would be dark, but it's really not very dark once you add a lot of water to it. I just sort of, again, let the water sort of lead. Oops, too much water right there. Don't do that. So, just going to let the water kind of pull it around. I'm not going to add much more. There we go. I just flicked that off of there. If I'd have put a paper towel on it, it would have just smashed it into the paper. Okay, so we're going to get the leaf a little wet first. And then we're going to get a little bit of the color. Just go down the middle, and the water is going to pull it out into the leaf where you really don't have to add a whole lot or do much detail work. Same thing with the other leaves. We're just going to add some water to it. This is just something real quick. If you just want a real quick card, But people will think, oh, she spent a long time doing that. And no, the secret is you did not. You could even have these all stamped up and ready to go and then just make them be in the color you want them to be in. Okay, so with the magic of video, this card would need to dry. Let that watercolor stuff dry. Also, one other thing that I did, let me grab that green back. I took the green, I just thought that was a lot of white when I got done. I don't really like so much white on my stuff. I took the green and I just sort of, you know, gave the card a once over with it. And once it dried up, it looked really pretty. So there you go. I just flicked some green on it. And with the magic of video, boom. I matted the 5 by 3 3/4 onto a piece of the new Rococo Rose. The name slipped my mind for a second there, on a piece of the Rococo Rose. And I felt like when the shaded spruce had water added to it, that it really looked like the mint macaron. So I mounted it on the mint macaron. And then for the little friends, I used a different stamp set. I'm so happy this stamp set has been carried over into the next catalog. It's well said. This is a good investment. If you're wanting to invest in a sentiment set, this is a good set. I think it'll be around for a while. And I love the font. I really do like it. We're going to use that friend one. And I just stamped it in the Rococo Rose on a little piece of scratch paper. And I just cut it out. Real simple. Put some dimensionals on the back of it and stuck it on there. Also added a few gems. And I was really thinking that the one thing it was missing is a butterfly. Because I love butterflies. My friends all know that about me, that I love butterflies. I'm so happy this set is being carried over also. I really do love this set. It comes with so many different kinds of butterflies, and you can either color them in yourself, or you can just stamp the whole butterfly in a color if you don't want to color. You can add the bodies if you want to, or the antennas if you want to or not. And then the other super fun thing about this set is that it has a punch with it. Oh, here it is. So I've got some here, and I kind of gave them a little watercolor wash with the new purple posy. And so it has a punch. One of the biggest joys in stamping is to stamp something, well, outside of embossing, because I do love doing that, is to stamp something and then punch it out. There's just something about it. Until you've done it, you just don't know the joy of it. So we have this cute little butterfly now from the Butterfly Gala. So the Butterfly Gala and the punch also made it into the new catalog. Yippee! I'm going to put a little blue dot on the back of my butterfly there, because this butterfly is what, we got to give him some wings. It's what this card is missing, is a butterfly. He needs to go like about there, you think? Yeah, about there. There we go. So there you have it. Fast little card. Done with To a Wild Rose. Okay, stampers, well, if you like my video, then make sure that you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to Purple Lizard Designs. If you need any Stampin' Up! Supplies, I'll put a link to my store at the bottom. Thanks for watching. Have a good evening.